listeners from every dimension, every point in the galaxy, every twinkling light up in the sky. You are listening to The Hour of Truth. My name is Campbell Monroe, and I'm here to give you the truth.
Listening to Gardening Public Radio. Coming up next, we'll be discussing what cultivators are doing about it. Nissa about her forest
Omnath Road Rage. As far as our opening hand goes, yeah, we'll keep on this one. I like it. We've got 4 lands, I think. Yeah, we got 4 lands. We do have a 4-mana ramp spell, and we do have Titania to bring another land back onto the battlefield. And I definitely like that. So let's go and lead off with Prismatic Vista. Yeah, I think that's it. And then anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, welcome to Omnath Road Rage. I hope you're excited to cruise the wastes of Zendikar with Omnath and Mossbridge and our Zendikar approved muscle car and run over a bunch of Eldrazi spawn. That is that's the name of the game. Let's go and crack this Prismatic Vista. Yeah, they have vehicles in Magic, and you can have a muscle car if you want. So let's go and drop in Forest. Why not? Let's have some fun. And there we go. So let's see what we draw into for the turn. And if not, I think we're simply just going to go ahead. Ooh, look at that. That is Mana Crypt with our opponent tapped down. Yeah, let's go and go for that. Let's go ahead and actually if we do this, so we go Mana Crypt. I like this. So we go Mana Crypt. Let's go and make the land drop. That's going to be Forest. And then we can go for Explosive Vegetation. That's going to be 1/2. Kind of like that. Then we can grab Double Mountains on this one. And that'll work out. So let's go Double Mountains. Both of those enter the battlefield. Then anything. That's a very good turn too. Anything else, pass the turn to our opponent. But yes, anyway, we're cruising the wastes of Zendikar today. Let's get our commanders covered real quick, and then we'll talk about what we got going on with the deck. So we're playing Omnath, Locus of Rage. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 5/5 red and green elemental creature token. Then whenever Omnath or another elemental you control dies, Omnath deals 3 damage to any target. Playing it Savra, Queen of the Golgari. Whenever you sacrifice a black creature, you may pay 2 life. If you do, each other player sacrifices a creature. Then whenever you sacrifice a green creature, you may gain 2 life. And our opponent's going to go for the Deathrite Shaman activation, exiling our Prismatic Vista out of the graveyard. So we did cover both commanders. Ooh, and that's going to be Pernicious Deed. But the damage has been done. We've got the ramp going, which is exactly what matters. So let's go and choose tails on this one. Lost the flip. We were 0 for 1 on those Mana Crypt triggers. And we're looking at Pandemonium, which I very much do like. Okay, so how do we want to set this up? We have no lands in the graveyard for Titania. Deathrite Shaman's going to be targeting those lands. We do have Blighted Woodland that we can go for to put 2 basics on the battlefield. If we go for Omnath, we're looking at potentially getting some sort of... Yeah, I think I kind of like doing this. Okay, so let's go and drop in Pandemonium. Yeah, I kind of like this, because if you're going to get Omnath down, you're going to get some sort of incremental advantage from that. So let's get down Pandemonium. Let's drop in Taiga Uppercut, and then anything else, let's go ahead and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yes, as far as, and I think we already did the sponsors. I don't know. I've been recording a couple different games this morning. So anyway, if I didn't do the sponsors, you know the deal on those. If I did do them, I don't want to repeat them. So, but anyway, it is officially free time, and let's have some fun. But yes, with Omnath, Locus of Rage, where did this deck come from? This is one of the first decks. It was the very first brand new deck I put out on a commander. And for a very long time, when I first started my channel, I would do a new release almost every Friday. As time has gone on and I have a family, I don't have as much time to do as many releases as I did a few years ago. But Omnath was the very first deck that I introduced on a new Friday. So, and if you don't know the lore behind it, we have a muscle card here on Zendikar, and it's me, Omnath, and Mossbridge Troll. And we cruise out the wastes of Zendikar, running over Eldrazi spawn, trying to get them out of Zendikar, because everybody knows the Eldrazi are evil, evil creatures. So there we go. That's the name of the game. But yeah, if you want to imagine yourself sitting in a vehicle with us, or you try to keep score in the back seat, that's the challenge right there. But anyway, as far as the actual deck itself, this is exactly what we want to do. When we get some ramp going, we got Explosive Vegetation. Very thankfully, we got off to a quick start with Mana Crypt. And now we get to have some fun, because when we drop in Pandemonium, and especially gets a deck that has a bunch of, maybe little Golgari creatures out there that are 1/2s and 2/2s, you drop in Omnath and just kind of smush Deathrite Shaman in the face. That's some good magic right there. Now we do have Roiling Regrowth, and what we're going to do on that is we could go for that, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got just enough for Omnath, and we can make a land drop with Blighted Woodland. And so what I think we're going to do right now is we're going to go for Omnath. We're going to have Omnath punch Deathrite Shaman as soon as we enter the battlefield, and then we're going to really try to start to... all right, so opponent's going to go for, I guess, Mana Crypt? Yeah, they're going to pop Mana Crypt with that Deed, which actually we're really happy about. Because if they don't pop that Deed, that's going to allow them to get rid of a lot of our tokens, which is not something that we want to see. All right, so that does drop us back down to 5 mana. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go and make the land drop for the turn. That's going to be Blighted Woodland, and then we can go for the activation. Yeah, I like that. We'll just go and get out of the way. That will talk about what we got going on with the deck. So let's go and tap down Mountain. We're going to put two lands onto the battlefield. And let's see what this is. This is going to be Assassin's Trophy on Pandemonium. So we'll get some extra lands now. Yes, we'll definitely use that ability. Let's go ahead and drop in Mountain off of Assassin's Trophy. It's going to be Blighted Woodland. Let's go ahead and go Mountain, and let's go Forest. Have those enter the battlefield. So now we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 8 total mana, which is definitely going to allow us to end up going for Omnath for next turn and make the land drop, which is a very good thing to see. They still do have Deathrite Shaman, so they can go for that Blighted Woodland. If we can set up Titania to go for Blighted Woodland, maybe they use Deathrite Shaman for something else. But more than likely, they'll end up using it to exile their land to add some mana to their mana pool. We do have Life from the Loam in here. You know, this is not really a heavy Life from the Loam deck, but if we can get our graveyard going, with some of our fetch lands and stuff like that, or, you know, something like Crucible of the Worlds, once we get down Omnath, that's kind of what we're going for, being able to get those elemental tokens going. But we did have Pandemonium on the battlefield, and enter the battlefield effects are a very big part of why this is Road Rage. You know, being able to have Omnath enter the battlefield, deal 5 damage either to our opponent's life total, or deal 5 damage to that Deathrite Shaman over there. Where it gets real nutty with Pandemonium is, let's say that we had Omnath on the battlefield, and we go for something like Roiling Regrowth. So we have Omnath, we go for Roiling Regrowth. That's going to put 2 lands onto the battlefield. That's going to be 2 elemental tokens. That's going to be 10 damage from Pandemonium, triggering whenever those creatures enter the battlefield. Now, here's the downside about Pandemonium. This is a global effect. This is for all the creatures out there. So if you get down Pandemonium, our opponent can utilize it too, and that's going to be Grave Pact from our opponent. Now, with Grave Pact, that is not fun to play against, but if we can get the tokens and kind of keep up with that, we'll be in a pretty good spot. So we're actually kind of getting into an interesting spot in the game. That's going to be Guric Uprising. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that'll be 9 with the land drop. So we can go Grave Pact. I'm worried about losing Omnath, because we're going to get Omnath, and we'll have an elemental token. I'm afraid that they might have another piece of removal, or whenever another creature dies, they'd have to cast at least one. Yeah, let's go and go for it. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, because we're going to have this come. Yeah, let's have Mountain come down, and that'll be an extra 5/5 elemental. And then hopefully with Gurik's Uprising, or at least Roiling Regrowth for next turn, we can make something happen. So anything else, let's go and pass the turn over to our opponent. But yeah, we've got Pandemonium in here. We do have Dictate of the Twin Gods. That's something that we can flash in late game and kind of amplify our damage. We do have Warstorm Surge in here, which is basically the one-sided version of Pandemonium. That really does kind of help us out into the late game. But there's a lot of times that you can... All right, so it's going to be Damnation. Let's go and send that damage up top. Yes, we'll return Omnath back to the command zone. And we'll send that 3 damage up top to our opponent. And see what we can do about it. There we go. All right, so it's going to drop them down to 32. And this will allow us to at least go for Titania next turn. And we're not super worried about losing Titania. And if we hit a fetch land off the top, that would be nice. But unfortunately, we do not. Okay, so let's go for Titania. It's going to be 1, 2. At this point, we're just going for some card draw. So let's get Titania down. Let's go for Gurik's Uprising. So we're going to allow us to draw a card. That's going to be an extra land drop for the turn. That's going to be Forest. And then let's go and go for Lightning Greaves. So that way, if we do end up getting Omnath down or our opponent taps out on mana, we don't have to worry about any sort of spot removal from our opponent. Lightning Greaves can go onto Titania. So let's go and get Lightning Greaves onto Titania. Let's go and swing across for 5. And I'm kind of liking the grindy aspect that our opponent and I have going on right now. So let's go and swing across for 5. That'll drop him down to 27. And then anything else will pass the turn over there. So we got Omnath sitting at 9. And that's going to be just enough in basics to get Omnath down, but unfortunately not enough for Warling Regrowth. If we do end up going for Omnath, that'll allow us to get a card draw whenever Omnath enters the battlefield. That does leave Omnath out there without a land drop to get these tokens, which is kind of unfortunate, but we'll just kind of see how our opponent decides to play this out, if they want to end up getting their commander down, or what sort of value threat they have. They do have the option to go for Phyrexian Tower at any time. They can sacrifice Savra, and that'll make us sacrifice Titania. And if we want to, we can always swing into Savra, and that'll give them some extra card draw. We'll see. We'll see how we're going to set this up. So, see what we draw into. Okay, and so that is Homeward Pass. So that's still going to end up being 9 total mana with the land drop for Omnath. And I think I do like this because we're going to get the Elemental. So let's do this. So let's go Omnath. That's going to be an extra card draw. Maybe we hit a fetch line. All right, we don't. Let's go and drop in Mountain. And that's going to be an extra card draw. Oh, look. Oh, there we go. We hit that. So let's go shift Lightning Greaves over onto Omnath right now. We can swing in at Savra if we want to. Do it like this. So we end up losing one of our creatures. They get another creature down. They sacrifice us. That gets us down pretty low. But it also gets rid of the Grave Pact option. I think we still end up doing this. So let's go and push in for 10. Yeah, I like this. So we're going to swing Titania, swing Elemental. That does give them some card draw. But it does get the commander tax going on Savra, which I'm totally okay with that right now. And hopefully, you know, maybe they draw into some more spot removal. But at the end of the world, it's not that bad. All right, so we're going to have 3 damage being dealt up to our opponent. It's going to drop them down to 15. We'll sacrifice the Elemental. That'll be another 3 damage up to our opponent. That'll drop them down to 12 when we get to our main phase. And let's get Lightning Greaves back onto Omnath. All right, so anything else is going to pass the turn over to our opponent. Hopefully, we can stick on this because we're looking at 11. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If something does end up happening into Omnath, the good thing is that we can completely tap out for Omnath next turn and still end up going for Scalding Tarn, which will allow us to get these extra elementals down. Now, here's the other kicker. If they don't have a way to deal with Omnath right now, we've got Rolling Regrowth, which is going to be 2 extra elementals. Then we've got Scalding Tarn, which is 2 extra elementals. And what happens with that is that, let's see what this is going to be. Binding of the Old Gods. That's going to be Destroy Lightning Greaves. And they have 1 more mana available. But yeah, with our opponent playing Golgari, if they do end up going for a board wipe, they're sitting at 12. So if they end up going for a board wipe, unless they have some sort of, exile effect, instead of them dying, then that's going to give us the option to kind of grind it out. So no, they did get rid of Lightning Greaves, so unfortunately we're only swinging in for 5, but I still like the position that we're in right now. So, all right, Valakut Awakening. Okay, so let's see how we want to set this up. So we can draw that many. I still think we just hold on to Scalding Tarn. Let's go for it. So let's get Scalding Tarn down, and our opponent is tapped out. Yeah, so let's get this Elemental onto the battlefield. That's going to be a extra card draw, Fabled Passage. Just going to crack Scalding Tarn. Let's grab ourselves Stomping Ground, which we'll go and shock that one in. We don't know how much mana we need for this turn. That'll be another Elemental. That'll be another card. Ooh. Oh, let's hoof it up with Crater Hoof. Oh, yeah, we're going to take that. We're going to hit the NOS button on this one. Let's get the Crater Hoof trigger. Oh, yeah, look at this. All right, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one. So we're going to be able to get in for 9 on that one. We could have got maybe some extra elementals along the way. We could have sequenced it up with Rolling Regrowth. But hey, we've got it on that one. And if you heard that meow, that was my cat. I don't know why. Maybe she heard Crater Hoof stomp down and it woke her up. But anyways, if you enjoyed your time with Omnath Road Rage, hey, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.